It's nice to have you be part of our show today. We'd love to say thank you and good morning. This is Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I'm Shoma Okoye.
In a bit, we'll be going to our newspaper headlines to see all that we have for you this morning. And right after that, in the GV, would be our main conversation also for today. So while we get everything all produced for you, please do be part of our community. Join our tribe and have a say in what we say. We're always available at enterprisetvnews.com, and also like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV. 7. With us today in the studios to do justice to all of that, we have newspaper reviews, then on to our main conversation if possible. We have Barrister Vanso Feli, a barrister at law and public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Barrister.
Good morning.
And also we have Mr. Peters Shodende. He is a public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you so very much for being part of our show today. All right, so let's kickstart our newspaper headlines with the first daily. What do we have?
Well, we're starting with the Guardian newspaper, and the big story here: shake up 11 ministers. Senior official may go as Tinubu reshuffles cabinet, and the pictures of some ministers that may likely be picked and some that might likely be dropped are scattered on the front page of the Guardian newspaper.
All right, so very well. And on the bottom strip of the same newspaper, we have Bello claims vendetta as EFCC slams some 110 billion naira in fresh fraud charges.
Right, okay. Moving down on the bottom strip of the Guardian newspaper, you have federal government denies interference in petrol pump price roll. Details are on page 4.
Well, this is so very interesting. Still on the bottom strip of the same newspaper, after confirmation by Senate, CGN vows to sanitize judiciary.
Okay, moving on, let's get into the big story.
Yes, the big story, of course, is on the reshuffle. Mentor President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has expressed his readiness to reshuffle his cabinet. We have it here. The president has also charged the ministers not to be media shy, but go about to publicize the activities of their various ministries. It says here, addressing a press conference at the State House in Abuja on Wednesday, Bayo Onanuga, special advisor to the president on information and strategy, lamented that so much is being done, but Nigerians are not aware. He said the president has expressed his desire to reshuffle his cabinet, and he will do it. I don't know whether he wants to do it before October 1st, and he will surely do it. But that I will say that he has not given us a timeline. That is quoting from Bayo Onanuga. I'd love to start with you, Peters. The reshufflement here. I know it is one area Nigerians have expected to see something done in that regard. But how much good will that do?
Yeah, thank you. I think the major aim of government is basically the welfare and security of the people.
Yeah.
And if we see what is currently happening, the current government has failed in both. In terms of welfare, people are groaning. In terms of security, not that this bad. We thought things were going to get better, but what we are seeing now is something else. So, based on this, if the president thinks that rejigging his cabinet would help him to deliver his promises to people, it's a welcome development. But from all figures that I get, from what you read, 11 out of about 48 ministers, I think that's very poor. Because if I count by myself, from my fingers, I doubt if up to 10 ministers should make that list. Every other one should go. Sadef City Minister, Olugomi Ojo,
David
Umahi, Kiyamu in Aviation. I don't know.
In fact, nobody knows who the
Minister of Agriculture is. We hardly know this minister. When the president was saying, go and talk about what you have done. If you have done something, we should know. You don't need to tell us. We should see. Everybody can see woman, you jumping up and down, coastal road, destroying the third mainland, here and there. You can see Olubunmi Ojo passport. You don't need to tell people. Well, if you do it, it will be there. Who knows the Minister of Agriculture? You don't know. Do you know the Minister of Police Affairs? CEO Yetola in Blue Marine Economy, you see, maybe has never even come to work. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, it's not about changing this cabinet. Even the ones you are bringing, what do they want to see? Matawale, a bandit sympathizer, as Minister of State for Defense. That's madness. So as far as I'm concerned, welcome development. Change your cabinet. But if 90% don't leave, and then we have not started.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter. And Barrister Evans, on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, we have the picture of the former governor of Lagos State, that's Fashola, and he may emerge as the new chief of staff. And that is it there. And even though Peters believed that at least it should not be more than 10 or so. Now, do you think, looking at Fashola, with his previous job, previous role he played in Lagos, if he should be the new chief of staff, do you see him playing a role in this present administration?
What difference of the office of chief of staff? What does it make? It's not even a constitutional appointment. It's not even anywhere in our laws. We just copied it from America. Okay, so I mean, what difference will it make? Is he a minister? Does he have a portfolio of a minister? What it does is just a gatekeeper to the presidency. Decide who the president will see, when and how you approach the presidency and all that. And that's his job basically. So Fashola should undertake something bigger than that.
Something bigger than that? Which position do you have?
Maybe ministerial appointment. Well, because no matter how you look at it, he was effective as a Lagos State governor. He was supposed to be effective as the Minister of Power and Works and Housing. He packed 3 ministries together. He couldn't perform as much as he did as a governor, but you could see the traces. Even though he made a lot of boosted here and there, but couldn't because at the center, you don't control your budget. Your budget is controlled for you. It's what is released that you work with. You understand? So I could see the bottlenecks and all that around that, you know. But see, what this reshuffle cabinet, to what end is it going to go? The first question we should ask before we talk about reshuffle: what is the vision of this government? Does this government have a vision? Because whether you reshuffle or not reshuffle, there should be a picture that is clearly defined, that those who are or existing ministers are working towards, or those who are going to emerge, or those who are going to reshuffle into. This one that are reshuffling into a new whatever. What is the vision? What are they working towards?
Someone said the president should. Someone said the president should reshuffle his mindset.
Yes,
Do you think that is right enough?
The president should resign. That is the best reshufflement. I'm telling you, it doesn't have capacity. It doesn't have capacity.
I think there's a renewed group agenda.
That's like the vision. That's the vision. But what is that to
That's human resource and everything.
What is the road to that?
You see, Nigeria is never the real.
I've not seen that.
Nigeria is never. You see, we have good ideas.
I've not seen that
Good
road.
policies. Since when I was in university, we've been talking about Vision 2020. You need to hear what Dora Akoili said about Vision 2020. You listen to those things. You see, Nigeria has plans.
It failed.
But the problem is that
Vision 2020 failed,
between your plans and your results, that gap is where Nigeria fails it all.
So it's not the personality who ensure that those things are
That
set.
personality that will drive you to that renewed hope. That is what the man. You see, for me, I feel that this is first year in office.
Okay.
Maybe quite a lot of political settlements. People brought in money to run the election.
No, they've entered the second year.
He employed his ministers around September after he got him.
Yes.
So I'm just saying the ministers have used a year now.
Okay.
So maybe I've compensated all of you. Now
Okay. Okay. He wants to get into the work now.
Business. Now.
Okay.
My thinking. But for me, if you want to be serious with this business, you need to overhaul these ones. These ones are not anywhere near. Look at what Obasanjo had done with ministers.
Are you saying the president should not resign?
The president cannot. He is elected. And that's the 4-year mandate.
No,
What is resignation on TV?
No, you can.
So on what basis?
You can. It is on the basis of incompetence.
To you is incompetent to APC. APC one I do. To you,
And
some
In
people
the way they did it, of course, it's still.
this man is doing the best for them. I don't know.
That's his best option. I don't feel
But you
so.
see, it's difficult for us to sit here and agree. And just like
I
you
know.
said, my brother, you see, for the chief of staff in Nigeria, the chief of staff is like a deputy, is much more powerful than the vice president. Look at Abakari when Buhari was there. Went to all these MNs, almost all the chief of staff in this country are like a deputy. It is when they want the president to go that they go. Maybe because the man has been good to Ashiwaju as his chief of staff when he was Lagos State governor. He feels that, guy, come and do this thing again. You have done it before. But as far as I'm concerned, that is not what is the problem of Nigeria for now. I think the problem of Nigeria is our structure. Everybody relying on that center, thinking that from that center, our life will be good. Never. Until we restructure this country, whereby each state is independent, through federalism, and the power comes to the local government, we will continue just to move in bits and bits or go back. This present structure we run and employ all the best heads as ministers, nothing will.
And to think that, of course, we operate a liberal democracy, and have always asked if it costs an arm and a leg, for us to have a better Nigeria. But let's see how that goes. Of course, it's a developing story. But of course, we promise right here on Enterprise Television to feed you with everything that would go down, especially with the reshufflement of the cabinet. But let's get to the Punch newspaper right about now, and still. The big story here, cabinet shake up. Tinubu demands 46 ministers, a fresh scorecards as lobby begins.
Okay, moving on the bottom strip. Kekereekun warns judges against corruption after Senate confirmation. Details are on page 12.
And also on the bottom strip of the same newspaper, Edo poll murdered by vote buying delay, NBA clarifies.
Okay, moving on the top strip on Dangote refinery. Marketers plan direct petrol purchase. Details are on page 18.
And also, federal government proposes NIN tax for foreigners.
Okay, moving on. Government mulls 30% third fund allocation for student loan.
Okay, so let's get into interiors, of course. Federal government proposes NIN tax for foreigners when we talk about ease of doing business. Now, these are some of the bottlenecks. Of course, it's very so important that when a foreigner comes into a country, he properly gets documented, registers himself and all that. But when such is done, taxation and so on, how does that affect the ease of doing business? In a country, of course, that needs a foreign direct investment.
I don't know where they got that in from. NIN is supposed to be for citizens.
Oh.
Okay, so maybe those who have permanent residence is what they are referring to. We need to read that story very well. Okay. Because if you have permanent residence in Nigeria, you are, almost like you are a resident.
Okay,
so
you're qualified to have your NIN.
Yes, of course, because you are someone who stays long in the country. That's what it means. And if you have that, and then if you are a citizen, you're a foreigner, but you are not a citizen by registration, you will need that NIN to identify. You understand? So, but if they are talking about just any foreigner, does it include those who are on visit, work visit, or those who are on just any kind of visit? Does it include that? So we need it.
Because what they're saying is tax for foreigners. So which means possibly, of course, we're just alleging.
That's the
it's
headline.
Possible, yes.
That's
it's possible. Yeah.
That's the headline. I'm saying we need to read details of that story to know which category of foreigner. There are a lot of categories. Yes, well, a lot of categories of foreigners are in the country. So we should know the one there, but it can't be for visitors. I don't think so.
From where I sit too, I can see that there are quite a lot of foreigners in this Nigeria, especially
Yes.
Asians.
Okay.
Yes.
They like to evade anything tax. We know them very well. They just come into the country under one guise or the other, and then they start to work, and at the end of the day, everything they get, they repatriate to their country. They hardly pay tax. Maybe those are the ones the government is looking at.
Looking for.
Because just like the barrister said, it's difficult for, if you're not a Nigerian, to, in fact, people from the Niger Republic, but they were collecting NIN in the north, people have to shout. Why do you give Nigeria's voting card NIN to people from Niger? That's why it's easy for Boko Haram and everything to. So it's very difficult when you go outside your country and begin to take what belongs to the citizens of that country. So we need to check that story very well. I feel that there's something the government is driving at, But for the ease of business, I think the government has tried as much as possible to make sure they look at what it is that is preventing quite a lot of foreigners from bringing their foreign direct investments into Nigeria.
It's insecurity.
They have tried, but at the same time, when you have policy imbalance, just like the MD of Total said, Nigeria is not the place you can plan. You have this government today and say, okay, go ahead, produce this one, give this one to Dangote. The government will come tomorrow and say, no, I'm not interested in it. This is how I want to run my show. So because of those policy imbalance, insecurity, and a whole lot of
instability.
So that is why we lack a good plan that will make foreigners at least come into our country. But on this particular matter, I think more needs to be done about it.
All right, but let's get into the Dangote issue.
Yes, and looking at the Dangote issue now, the marketers have planned direct petrol purchase. And at this point, Barrister Ivan, starting with you, how well do we see this affecting the price of petrol in the country?
Well, if the marketers are going to be fair to the country, because already we stated this before, Section 205 of the PIA does not empower any single company to be the sole undertaker of petroleum product from any company that is licensed to operate in Nigeria. You understand? So that is why we raise our voices and say it is illegal for NNPC to, with all its assets, reduce itself to a vendor, and is proud of being a sole vendor to Dangote refinery. So we say no, that is wrong. So if the marketers now have access, which Dangote has yearned for, because even the statement that Dangote released talking about the energy crisis, and that the only way we can subdue the energy crisis is to ensure that this product get to every willing buyer and not just a single purchaser. So fine, we will knock that block off, but can the marketers force the NNPCL to reverse the already increased price? Because what they did now was a coup. The moment they discovered that Dangote product was ready, they surreptitiously went under to jack up the price.
The NNPC now, right?
Yes, okay. The NNPC jack up the price and now claim that they bought from Dangote 898 naira. You understand? Then Dangote came out and said, no, we didn't sell to you at that price, but didn't mention the price that they sold all the same. And so you had that conflict. So on the basis of an ideal society where the principles of economics can actually work, where you have more than one persons distributing, price is supposed to come down by the virtue of the economic principles. But in the Nigerian case, where witchcraft is involved in the economy, it may not, I can't guarantee that it will come down. You remember the economists who were telling us on TV about market forces when the PIA was signed into law. And they were saying now Nigeria's problem, the energy problem, have been solved by the PIA. And market forces will take over the regulation. That price will be determined by purchase. Price will be determined by access to products. But we are almost 2 years into the PIA regime. 2 years, more than 2 years. I mean, 2020 now. We have not seen that change. Why? Because of what the NNPCL, what they are capable of doing. When we are importing the product from outside the country, we're buying it less. We now have an indigenous refinery that belongs to a citizen. We're not buying it higher than that. You understand? That is why the result that Nigerians' problem, if they explain it to you the first time, you understand. If you didn't explain it well, you cannot tell me that it is economics for me to, get a product in my country, buy it in Naira, refine it, and sell it higher than I should sell it when you compare it to when I take it out and import it into the country. You can't say that. No. So the price of PMS ordinarily should not even be up to 300 naira.
Now, while we understand this, of course, let's get to the man of the moment, Dangote himself. I remember months before now, he came to Nigerians for the first time. He's been media shy, but at this particular point, he came to Nigerians and said, "Hey, these people want me out of the market." Nigerians came, of course, pleaded and all that. Today, Dangote himself has been alluded as one of the biggest problem Nigerians have. He came on an international media and told them that Nigeria should remove total subsidy if it wants to bring a naira, to where it should be. So, do you think Dangote is really valuable as we had thought he is?
Okay, let me go directly to your question. Is Dangote valuable? Yes, Dangote is valuable. Is Dangote a businessman? Yes, he's a businessman, and he will behave and think like a businessman. The major aim of business is profit. Don't forget. And what you have failed to do as a country, he as an individual has come to do it. You see, just like Restart said, you mentioned market forces. The economists were not wrong when they were telling you that. That is when you see any economic policy, we used to put ceteris paribus. Other things being equal, everything being equal. You see, if not for the interventions of human beings, we shouldn't have this problem. A man has a refinery. It's either he gets crude oil locally or imports. If I import, same Dangote did imported from US and got also from NNPC. If I import, the price I will sell that man is different from the price I will sell the one I got here, because free charges, FOB and everything will be here, landing costs, customs, MPF takes money. But the one I take here is direct. You can't compare the price here with the price here. You see, the problem in Nigeria is this. We have had, yesterday I saw a data of fuel consumption in the country.
Okay.
You saw that the North consumes more fuel than the South.
Really?
Yeah, when it was 65 million days, before they were saying we were using 65 million barrels per day, suddenly it came to 45 million barrels per day. What is the North doing? That it is consuming much more fuel.
Barrels or liters?
Than the South. No, I'm saying daily consumption.
Liters, not barrels.
No. As in petrol, PMS.
And that's what I'm saying. I said it's liters, not barrels.
You said
barrels.
Sorry. Liters. So if we are using 45 million barrels per day.
Liters.
Sorry, 45 million liters per day. And the North is the one. Tell me what industries are in the North that is using it. The North is where we have the highest level of poverty. So you see that high level smuggling of the product is why the North is having more fuel consumption than the South. And the country pays subsidy on those fuel that find its way out of the country. So we are subsidizing fuel for Cameroon, for Niger Republic, Chad. They even take it as far as wherever they want to take it to. So the issue now is this, just like Dangote has said, bring your trucks. We will make sure we put cameras on them. We're able to monitor whether these trucks leave this country or not. Because you see,
that one is not
the only thing that can happen is for you to get to your station, discharge it in your tank, your own truck comes again, take it and begin to head that direction.
If I off it on the road,
you can't off it on the road because they monitor you. Even little haulage companies do it here. Once the rider leaves, they track you from start to finish. That's easy. But you can discharge it somewhere, another truck comes, picks it and move. So that won't miss the point. Where exactly I'm going is this. You see, if Dangote has a refinery, let NNPC buy if they want to buy and sell at their own price. Let independent marketers go buy and sell at their own price.
Everybody should go and buy.
But the problem we have is independent marketers, don't forget, they were selling diesel at about 1718, 15. Dangote came, started with 12. Dangote brought down the price of diesel to 900. He wrote to the president and said, this man is a threat to our business. So do you think they are for the people? No, they are for their own profit. NNPC, this is their own cash cow where they have been making money forever. You suddenly think they want Dangote to come and take away all their shine? No. So you see, the
At the expense of who?
The problem is still
at the expense of the
human beings. Human beings. That is why the government needs to come and do serious NMRDPA. What is that agency?
Yeah.
So that
the upstream and downstream
in the system. If Dangote, you see all this, he himself is unable to mention the price. Why? Because he's being careful.
Yeah.
He wants a situation whereby he's not seen as being greedy, taking the highest. Whereas the NNPC is not ready for that. The guys controlling that block, especially the ones that take fuel, they are ready for any wahala. I used to think the president feels that, I am so strong in this country that there's no sector I can't put my head. He has come here now. They see even that much more than the drug cartel, the oil cartel.
Yeah, oil politics is a dirty, very bloody politics.
And very bloody. So I think just like Dangote has said, so that I end, he regretted not buying us now. Because if he did, he would have put that money.
That shouldn't be telling us that.
Put it in the refinery. Now he has done it, he doesn't even know where to go again.
Well, doing that actually is capital flight. And, capital flight because our money.
Not after but see that has come out very well these days.
Yeah, they're doing relatively well.
The aim and objective is to invest in national.
I would have made more profit.
I am not the trainer. My own is this is the shares and this is my money. That is so fine.
Very well.
Maybe next time you should think proper before you invest.
Okay, before you invest. All right, that's just about the size of our segment today. Really, I truly do enjoy this. I love to say thank you to Barrister Vansifeli for being part of our show today. Peters, thank you so very much. We truly do appreciate your time. And just to let you know, both gentlemen will be here to take us on our main conversation. Also joining us virtually will be Lester Wilkers. Yes.
When we return, Nigerian Bar Association asks AGF NSA to probe bribery allegations against EFCC. Just stay tuned.